Welcome to Camp America's Tell Me Small. Hi guys!
Hello everyone, welcome back for episode 4.
I can't keep up with you.
Cut, great episode.
Hi guys! Welcome to
Tell Me Small.
We are...
A little inclusion from George there.
Yep. We are back with our first episode of 2024.
Woo! It's episode 4 now, right?
I don't know. Episode 1 of 2024.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Doing chapters. Yeah.
So we hope you've all had a great Christmas period and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
What he said. So yeah, we're back. We're here to talk all things camp. We've got quite a lot in store for today's episode.
We do. We've got some fun games as well to start. I'm really excited.
We've got some fun games. We've got some Q&As from questions that people have asked us. And we also want to talk about our fairs.
Recuritment Fairs.
When do we not want to talk about fairs? So, should we start with that?
Let's do it. Fun game? Or Recuritment
Fairs.
Oh yeah, I suppose we should do the important
To be
stuff
fair, we should talk about the fairs.
So, if you guys don't know already,
myself cringe.
we are in Manchester and Glasgow on the 1st of February and London on the 3rd.
Saturday the 3rd of February we'll be in London, and you can find me and Matt in Manchester with George and Sophie, and if you follow our socials you know who we are. And then you'll find Alex and Holly in Scotland.
You'll find us all on the door, so come say hello. Come find me if you've got a VIP queue jump pass, and I will definitely sort you guys out. If not, we will definitely include my email at the bottom of this podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, if not, you can head over to our socials and it'll be on there as well. Or you can just DM us and be like, yo, what's Matt's email? We need it.
Awesome.
Don't laugh at me.
No, that's a good idea. No, I like it.
So yes, that's really exciting. We've got so many camps coming to get you hired. These are our biggest fairs and it's a perfect opportunity to get hired on the spot.
There are over 100 coming for the London Fair, and I believe 50 at each of Glasgow and Manchester. 50 plus as well. So definitely a super high chance of getting hired.
So one thing we just want to cover is parents. So from the last fair, we had lots of parents quite disappointed that they couldn't come in with their children to the fair. So basically, we just want to explain the reason why parents can't come in. They're more than welcome to come travel with you and go sit in a coffee shop, or I don't know. There's not really anywhere in the venues to stay downstairs, but there's lots of places around. But pretty much, this is a job interview. It's a very relaxed, formal setting, but at the end of the day, it's still a job interview. And camp directors want to see that you can go to camp on your own. So if you can't come to a recruitment fair on your own, are you going to be able to travel to America on your own? So, I mean, we don't want to sound, what's the word? I don't know. We don't want to make it a big deal to go to America on your own, because it's more than doable. But if you can't come without your parent, then maybe you need some independence when you do this.
Definitely. Your parents can sort of be in the queue with you, but as soon as you go into the venue, they have to go grab a coffee or just wait outside. Usually parents will be waiting around an hour, right?
Yeah, some people are in and out with a job within 20 minutes. Other people, I mean, I looked around for quite a while. I'm quite picky. So I stayed in there for about an hour. Still came out without a job, but that was my choice. So, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean,
and the camp directors want to see you, and they want to see your skills and how you are conveying those skills, and sort of maybe conveying your portfolio or telling them about their sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, you need to be able to sell yourself. They're not going to want to hear it from your mum, your dad, your guardian, or anyone. They're going to want to hear it from you. Oh,
one question we do get is if you can pop outside, like talk to your parents about it and come back in. That is completely allowed, yes.
Absolutely. It's a big decision to make.
Yeah, it's like 3 months of your year gone. So you want to make sure that you go to the right camp. So if you want to pop out of the venue, speak to your parents, or go on the phone to them, then you can come back in.
Like, yo, mum, should I do it or not?
Please help.
Dad, help me. But yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's just in the actual venue, you need to come in alone. And also, you make friends. Like I still follow someone on Instagram that I met when I went to a fair in 2017. So
that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, and I watched her camp journey. She watched mine. She got placed at the fair I went to. I didn't go for another like 4 years. But
didn't you turn up really early as well?
What, to the fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like left my mum and dad downstairs. I was only 17, so I had to queue up spiral stairs. That's something I really remember in Birmingham. I drove 4 hours. I stayed overnight to go to the fair.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, that's commitment.
Mrs. Committed.
Yeah. We did have someone from the Netherlands.
Yep.
And a couple from Ireland. So, yes, it's definitely doable wherever you are to come to any of the fairs.
And it's so worth it. Even just to like, it's that first step of independence, I think, because to do camp you have to be really independent, and I had never done anything on my own before, so even just going to the fair on my own at 17 was such a huge jump. So I think once you've, that's kind of the hardest bit, I think, anyway. Once you've done that, you can do anything.
Because then you've met your bosses. So like anything else, everyone's going to be your colleagues at that point, and they're going to be like your co's, so they're going to be the same level of you. So there shouldn't be too much sort of...
And if you do get hired on the day, you can meet people who also got hired on the day, and then you've got friends before you even get there.
Yes.
So...
Smart.
But yeah, basically, just to summarise, no parents allowed inside. They have to wait outside in a coffee shop, but they can still be there to support you in the queue, and yeah.
Awesome, yeah. But no, we're super excited to have all you guys, and please come. All you have to do is sign up on our website, www.campamerica.co.uk/events.
Recruitment fairs.
Recruitment fairs, yes, that would be a quicker way.
Also, by the way, if your parents have any questions or anything, they're more than welcome to talk to us on the door, because we will be there, or a member of our team will be there, and we can answer any questions they might have, because parents have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't always know the answer.
I sometimes get asked about like financial stuff or visas, which maybe sort of the applicant may not know, so the parents want to ask instead. That's completely fine. We're more than happy enough to talk to them about that, aren't
Absolutely. We can talk about camp all day.
As we are about to. Right
Game
now.
time!
Game time!
Can we do the photo?
Okay.
So we're playing a game of camp yes or no. Basically, we're going to show each other photos, and we're going to be like, absolutely, that is a camp yes, or nah, mate, you're well off. So yeah.
Here you go. Few.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay,
you go first. I don't want to go first.
So, first we have mobile phones.
Calling mum and dad.
Ooh.
Is it a yes? Is it a no? Personally, so I went to camp and I was like, absolutely not going to FaceTime my mum and dad. I'll just text them. I don't want to hear their voice, because when my mum did camp, whenever she heard my mum's voice, her mum's voice and my nan's voice, she got upset. Yeah. So I was like, not going to do it. 5 days into camp, I was having a bit of a wobble, a bit homesick, and I was like, I need my mum. FaceTimed her, felt so much better. So I think it just depends on you, I guess, and how you feel. Because whenever I'd call my mum, I'd be like, okay, cool, I'm good. But other people would sometimes feel homesick, so I don't know about you.
So I'm like, no, usually. I'll sometimes take an eSIM out there just in case, but I may like check in once or twice with my parents, or if there's like a birthday or something like that, just because I like to immerse myself in the camp experience.
Yeah, I text my mum every day. But
that's cute though, to be fair. My mum and
my dad. But
yeah.
Hello, if you're watching.
I like how you actually include that there as well, just to be like...
He's watching. He watches. Okay. Your turn or my turn?
Your turn.
Correct.
Yes, and yes.
Absolutely
there is
yes.
no answer to this. 100% yes.
I lasted about 2 weeks at camp before I ordered Crocs. Before I went, I was like, nah, not being seen dead in them. But
the trend goes, yeah.
Yeah, I wear them here now.
I actually haven't worn them yet to camp, so this will be my first summer. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna
You're
be...
a fraudster.
I know.
How would you say yes that many times? You've never even worn them.
Because at home they're comfy.
Okay, but yeah, absolutely could not recommend Crocs enough. They're perfect for the water, for everything, and you get to decorate them and make them pretty and make them new.
Okay, next one. Laptops. Ooh, interesting one.
For me, no, because number one, I don't want to leave it in the bunk all day because things get ruined at camp. There's stuff everywhere, things get lost. But I did take my iPad.
Fair.
Purely because I can't go to sleep without watching the telly. So I download stuff to watch when I was going to bed.
I'm the same, it's really bad, yeah. I always put on like some sort of comedy show, Big Bang Theory or
Yeah.
Friends, just
Modern
to get me to
Family.
sleep, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously some camps have different rules on this as to whether you're allowed them in bunk or not. My camp was fine with it as long as the kids didn't go on it, I think anyway, but my kids didn't go anywhere near my stuff.
Yeah.
So it was only when they was asleep or like on my off period I'd just chill, calm down, watch Home Alone, you know.
Home Alone.
Standards.
In the summer, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It also depends on sort of what job role you do. So, for example, if you're doing photography or you're doing something with social media or where you may need a laptop, then obviously ask your camp, can I bring my laptop? Because I know certainly some of the camp laptops are quite outdated, aren't they? So,
Yes, and also if you're, lots of exams can go on during camp season, so some people will go out to camp and do their exams from camp or have to submit coursework or something. So if you do need to do that, then just ask your camp if you can take your laptop, because they might even be able to store it for you in the safe if you don't want to have it in the bunk the whole time. So
that's a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Picasso.
Okay.
Next one.
Camp goggles.
Camp goggles. Oh.
Okay, so for those who don't know what camp goggles are, Have you heard of the term beer goggles? Basically, at camp, you get this thing called camp goggles, and what you think might not... Well, how do I explain this? So what might not be such a great idea, through camp goggles looks like a brilliant idea. So...
Yes, that's a great way of saying it, actually. Someone that you may...
This is really hard
it's
about...
such a difficult one, isn't it? Someone you may find attractive in the first week of camp could be someone completely different by the last week of camp.
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah, and sometimes it just plays with your mind throughout camp, and then after camp you're like, oh,
what the hell was I thinking?
Why did I go there? Or something like that. So, you know, just be yourself during the summer. That may happen to you guys because you are in almost like a family community type feel.
Just don't be fooled by them. I don't think I've ever had camp goggles. I feel like I've escaped it, but you have.
I have, yes. Yeah, I've been a couple of summers, and it's a weird feeling after camp. When you see the world again, you're like, oh my gosh, this is really weird. So
yeah, so just kind of be aware. You might get camp goggles.
All of these like camp terms we're talking about, we're going to do like
That's
a separate
our
part.
next game.
Yes, which is super fun as well.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my last one.
No, you've done it. Oh yeah.
I've got one more.
Yay! What one have you got? Ah.
Which one is it? Oh yes, travel. Yes or no?
Absolutely. Travelling after camp is like as great as camp is. It's a highlight.
Yeah.
Like you've worked so hard the whole summer. You've kind of been in your own little world, not in reality, and then all of a sudden you get to New York or wherever you go, because my camp always drops you off in New York, and it's like, whoa, like it's like real life, and then you get to basically just like live free, because like you don't have, like at camp, like you have to be on duty and things like that.
Curfew.
It's a lot of routine at camp, whereas when you're travelling, you just, all of that goes out the window. You can go see places you'd never see before.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a great way to really make the most out of your summer, because when are you going to get to travel America again?
Definitely.
Like, unless you go back like we have and you do it again.
But usually if you do want to travel America by yourself, it's sometimes so expensive. Like flights now like independently are so expensive, whereas if you have 30 days on your visa to travel anywhere in America, so definitely take advantage of that, even if it's just for like a couple of days or a week.
It doesn't have to be, like I travelled 4 weeks my first year, and to be honest, too much. I needed to come home after like 2.5, 3 I think, but it's really not as expensive as you think it may be. You can do it on a budget. You can get buses. I got a bus from San Diego to Vegas for like $30, and it was a great bus.
Was that mega bus?
Flix.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And like you can get hostels, you can share with friends in Airbnbs, you can stay with American friends that you meet as well. So the whole thought of traveling in America seems completely like you're living in a dream world and unreachable, really. Well, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it actually does.
And it's actually so much more easier than what you think.
100%, especially if you're like going to the airport. So say like my camp's in Maine, which is up north, and then like New York's down here. Even just going to New York, sitting for like a couple of days before getting my flight, it's still such a surreal experience.
Yeah, and you've worked hard at camp, so you'll have wages you might want to treat yourself, or I don't know, you make friends that you want to just carry on making memories with, because you won't get to see them when you come home. Like
and
my
you
friends
deserve some time off as well.
Exactly, yeah. And my friends are all over the place, and the only time we get to see each other is when we travel after camp. So like, it just makes it even more special. So yeah, I don't know if you can gather, but we're all for that.
Yeah, we like travelling.
Okay.
Let's do the next game.
Terms. Okay.
We're prepping you.
Off and on. So it sounds really stupid because you think it's self-explanatory, but it's not. So other camps might refer to it as OD, so on duty. But basically, off and on is when you've got time off and when you're on. That's really stupid.
Yeah. I think it's just because there's so many people on camp all the time, and you're never 100% sure who's actually working or who's on a break. So it's so much easier to be like, oh, Phebs, you off right now?
Yeah.
So that's why. But it's
or
just
are you OD right? Are you on OD tonight? Yep, I'm in the bunk. Or I'm sitting on the basketball field, making sure that everything's in order.
Yeah, it's a good one. Okay, next one. Apache. This is
so fun. So, not every camp has it, but most camps do. So if you have a colour war, you'll have a huge event. My camp dedicates a whole day to it of Apache. So it's basically like a giant relay. Do you not have it?
No.
Let me tell you.
Oh.
So basically, the whole camp. So on colour war, I've said so many times. In colour war, you get split into white and red in my camp, and there'll be a girls Apache, a boys Apache, and a counselor Apache. So every single girl on camp will have a role on Apache. They'll be given a card with a number and a task, and white will obviously have the same, or red will have the same. Both teams will have the same. They'll be split into two, and it's basically a race to complete the entire relay.
That's it. Even I'm learning stuff, and I've been so many summers. See? Oh, this one's good. CIT/JCs. This can stand for Counsellor in Training or Junior Counsellors.
Yeah, so CITs, it will be their last year at camp, so technically they're still campers. They'll still go to all the activities and like have their own bunk and whatever, and have counsellors themselves. But our CITs, like they take an hour a day to then go help with the younger kids, so then they become counsellors for like the hour. But our JCs are CITs the year on. So I have loads of JCs in my division who were basically general counsellors, but they're just called JCs because they've only really just graduated from camper, so it's like their first transition year from camper to counsellor. But I love my JCs. They're great.
They're really helpful as well. Sometimes when you've had a long day, those JCs really step up and they'll play with the kids. They'll put even more energy into those games.
Yeah.
They're quite young themselves.
And also they've experienced it before. They know what it's like to be a camper. Lots of them know the kids already because they've got sisters or siblings or brothers and whatever. But yeah.
Definitely. Next one, which I did not know again.
Chipwich.
Would you like to explain a bit about what that is?
So, a chipwich is an ice cream sandwich. It is beautiful. So usually it's a Nestle Toll House one, but sometimes it can be homemade. But it's 2 cookies, chocolate chip cookies with ice cream in between.
They are so good. They are.
But it's a chipwich. It's not an ice cream sandwich. If you call it an ice cream sandwich, they won't know what you're talking about. It's a chipwich.
Yeah, we call them Sea Dog biscuits.
That's strange.
So I'm not sure. Where do you call it chipwich?
That's what it says on the packet. Like if you go to an ice cream shop and you want an ice cream sandwich, it says chipwich. I can picture the Nestle Toll House one in my head. I wasn't allowed it because it was had nuts in it and my camp's nut free.
Maybe that's why they will look weird at me when I ask them for a Sea Dog biscuit.
I'd look weird at you if you asked me for a Sea Dog biscuit.
You do it anyway. Next one is leaders. So this is quite a broad range term at camp. This can be anything from sometimes even like the camp directors to a chief counsellor to a group leader to a divisional head to a program leader. Have you got any more?
There's so many, that's kind of just a general term, but there's so many different names for leaders depending on what camp you go to. So we have GLs, which are group leaders, and AGLs, assistant group leaders, whereas other people have division heads or division leaders, but they all mean the same thing. So a GL or a group leader will run the whole division. So I was a general counsellor, I had my group leader who ran my entire bunk, and if I had any problems, I'd go to her. Or if I couldn't deal with a particular situation with a child because I wasn't sure how to, I'd go to my group leader and ask for advice. So they're basically there to support the kids, but also you as well.
Yeah, definitely. And they're super, like, they supervise you, but they'll also be there for you, not just the kids. So, like, if you did need anything, whatever that was, whether it's something to do with going home or travel plans or even just getting off camp sometimes.
And sometimes there are tricky situations with the kids, especially if you have younger kids that you don't quite know how to deal with, or you shouldn't have to deal with almost. Like if it gets a bit deep or a bit complicated, go to your group leader. They're there to help you. So they're there for your support as much as the kids.
Definitely.
But I think that's the most important leader that you'll be working with if you're a specialist or a general counsellor. Because, I mean, you'll have assistant heads. Like we had head of girls side, head of boys side, assistant boys, assistant girls, and everything like that. So they're obviously there too. But the group leaders are, I'd say, your first port of contact if
100%.
you had any problems.
They are there for you. Whichever job you go for at camp or whichever job you decide to go for, there's always going to be some sort of supervisor just helping you through the summer. Yeah. It's the same at my camp. If like there's a kid, I work at a underserved camp where sometimes the behaviour can be a little challenging. So some of my counsellors, bless them, they don't need to do with it. All they do is just radio for me and I'll come over and sort of help out. So it's definitely worth us having.
Especially if it's like your first year as well. They're not going to expect you to know everything and have all this experience, and basically it's not going to click straight away. So they're there to kind of help you get it, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. That's all we've got. We've completed our 2 little fun games.
Right. Into my Taylor Swift
Can
notebook.
we look at this little book right now? How much did you pay for
Can I
that?
zoom in on that real quick?
Santa brought it.
Santa brought it. Oh, okay, interesting.
Santa brought it. So, welcome to our new segment of our podcast, which is our Q&A session. So, before the new year, we had every intention to do one before Christmas, but we was all a bit ill, not like things weren't running smoothly, so
We're
here we are now. Yeah, so basically, we're going to ask you what you want to hear. You tell us, we talk about it. Simple as that.
We've already got some amazing questions so far on Instagram when we've done stories, so please keep interactive with those. Even if you've been to camp and you don't want to hear the answer on the podcast, just ask us some ones that maybe first timers want to know, or
yeah, if
even
there's
returners.
anything you wish that you would have known your first year, just to help out first timers, that's always nice too. But our first question is, what is being a camp counsellor really like?
It's definitely sugar-coated. The TikTok sugar-coats it.
That was my phrase.
Yeah. It's an amazing experience. There are some tough points, but definitely the highs beat the lows. What was the little saying you had?
100%.
Tears and...
Cheers and tears, baby. High highs and low lows.
Yeah, that's going in the cringe jar.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm cool. I can rock it, okay?
But yeah, it's seriously, it's an amazing experience, but there are some difficult times. I'm sure we've both had those over the few years.
I've had them, and I know I've had them, but I don't remember why.
Yeah.
Because the good times outweigh the bad. So I think if you're having a bad day, which everyone does at camp, you get overtired, you're working quite a lot, you're away from home and everything, so it can get a bit much at times, but you really just need to rely on your friends, I think. And like even just the little things like getting a fresh baked cookie or having a shower and putting clean socks on.
It's a big deal at camp, isn't it?
It can change your entire mood, and you can like literally be like, I'm fine, what the hell was I like upset about 10 minutes ago?
And take advantage of your breaks as well. That's 100%. I always say it to my counsellors when I used to be chief, and like some counsellors have FOMO and they want to go to like Walmart on their breaks, or they want to follow everyone else, but sometimes you just need a rest. So definitely take advantage of the rest.
On my periods off, which are like an hour, 40 minutes during the day, I always wanted to call my mum or like check in with home or something, but then sometimes I'd literally just lay on my bed, listen to music and do nothing, and then I'd get up and I'd feel so refreshed. And sometimes you just need that.
Definitely.
And even just that peace and quiet, because kids are loud.
Oh yeah, there's
So
16 of them as well. So.
It's the toughest but most rewarding job you can have, and honestly I would not change it for the world.
No, definitely, 100%.
Okay, advice for first timers. You don't remember this.
Too many years ago for me now. Yeah, 2017 was my first year, so you can definitely start that off.
So my first year was 2022. I don't know, I struggled a lot. I wasn't going to get on the plane, I wasn't going to go, I knew I'd get homesick, and I was very homesick for like the first few weeks.
You on the plane?
No, I'm not going to get on the plane this year either. I think it's an anxiety thing, but because I knew what I was going to, and I knew what was going to wait for me while I got there, like, it just, you kind of just push it all to one side. And honestly, I'm so glad I did get on that plane, because I would not be in the situation or the person I am right now if I hadn't have gone to camp. That's not advice for first timers. Okay, so my advice for first timers, I think, is to really ride the wave, because your emotions are everywhere, but you just need to stick it out, because it's so worth it in the end. And like, you might feel like you don't make friends first of all. Like, I didn't meet my best friend until I think it was like day 3, and then all of a sudden it just clicked. But those 3 days felt like a bloody year. I remember texting my mum when I met Ailey, and I was like, it's fine, I've got a friend. And like, we're literally best friends. So like, even to this day, she comes down for my birthday. We went back with each other this year. So I think just really try and stick it out. Obviously, if you know it's not working and you're adamant, absolutely fine. But I really would just try and see it out, because
100%.
And trust the process, because it takes a while to get settled in. The first few weeks, you won't be in your bunk, most likely. You'll be in a different bunk with loads of counsellors until you go into your actual bunk you'll be living in for the summer. So you can't make it feel homely. So I think even that, like putting up your photos when you get to your final bunk, that's when it really starts to feel like home. So you just kind of need to warm up, I think.
100%. And throughout my years of going to camp, I always notice that the time that people leave camp, or they don't want to do it, is the first week. And I always believe if you can get through the first week or the first orientation week, or like Phoebe said, the first few days until you meet maybe a group of friends that you haven't actually spoken to yet, if you can get through that first week, then I think you'll have an amazing summer. Yeah.
Especially even when the kids come as well, that can be a shock to the system. But I would just really embrace it, because the time you spend with those kids is so... It feels like such a long time when at the first time you meet them, you're like, oh my God, I've got this for 7 weeks, but it goes like a flash.
Yeah.
So really, like, if they're going to the water park, do it. If they're doing arts and crafts, get involved, because before you know it, you're going to be crying saying goodbye to them when they get on the bus.
It's over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me feel like when they leave already.
I can picture them going, come back, please. I love you, Fee.
That's actually another part I'd say for advice is, I've had it before, and some of my counsellors have arrived, And when the kids come, they turn into like work mode, and they're working so hard, and they're not almost playing enough. So like they're not joining in the activities, and it's just like, remember, this is your summer as well. You're here to enjoy it. Yeah, 100%. So obviously it's important you have a certain responsibility for these children, but get involved with the games. You know, go swimming with them. You don't have to be a lifeguard on the side. That's what we have lifeguards for.
Yeah, and also I think it's like you need to gain their respect, so then you can have fun with them in a way.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
like, I don't know. I'm just thinking back to my year. So it's my second year, because I'd already worked hard with them, and like whatever the year before, they respected me. But then we could also have so much fun, and like they knew not to like take the piss, but you kind of gained that respect.
I think firm but fair is such a good way to have, like, for example, when I was a counsellor, the kids would know that when it was shower time and bedtime, that's the time to listen to me. Whereas when we're playing soccer on the field, charging around,
we can have a joke. You can chase me. You can steal the ball off me.
Exactly, definitely, 100%.
Any other advice for first timers?
One thing I would say is if you do have travel plans at the end of camp already, then fair enough. But I would keep open-minded about that, because you can sometimes meet friends during the summer that you want to go and travel with. Did you have that?
Absolutely. I had, the only plans I had my first year was to meet my mum and dad in Florida for 10 days. And even that was like, am I going to do it, am I not, in case something else came up. But I ended up travelling 2 weeks before, and then 2 weeks after, or a week after, with friends I'd met. And you book it all while you're there. No one really books anything before you go, because you don't know who your friends are going to be. You don't know where you're going to want to go. You might meet American friends and go stay with them for a week. So I think don't panic about that. Well, at all really. There's no need. Like, you can literally book things a week before you leave camp. Like, nothing has to be booked that far in advance. And also, if you change your mind, you can go home. Like, you don't have to travel. There is no pressure to travel at all. We obviously recommend it because we've had a great time, and my best memories are whilst I'm travelling.
Yeah.
But
there's nothing wrong with going home. Like, I've done it a few summers where I've left camp, then 2 days later I've gone home, and it's felt exactly the same for me. So please don't feel pressured to travel.
Also, when someone in my bunk was going home this year at the end of camp, and I got jealous for a little bit, because I was like, I want to go home. I want to see my mum and dad. So like, there's perks to both. Obviously, as soon as I was in LA, I was fine. But
yeah, no, definitely.
I think as well, watch packing videos. I mean, we'll do our tips for packing nearer the time, because obviously don't pack now, it's a bit in advance. But
fair play if you do.
I mean, I packed so much stuff my first year, but probably the wrong stuff. So like, you don't need that many dressy clothes. You might have one night off a week where you can go out, or like when you're travelling. But like things like extension leads, you don't know where the nearest plug's going to be, and you might want to charge your phone. Like stupid things like that, bed storage, or even like just, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just like little things that I'd recommend. Lots of photos, your comfort items that you think you're too grown up for, but you're not.
You need them eventually, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say just as well, be open-minded. So like that first week of camp, when it is a bit scary, we have orientation week usually, and there'll be loads of different activities or icebreaker sessions to get to know everyone.
Don't think you're better than the icebreaker sessions, because you need to get involved.
Just jump in, get involved, because I guarantee you so many of those people are not very good at the activity they're doing, but they're just having a fun time doing it. Like,
absolutely.
Lip sync battle is something that I am horrific at, but you will see me with a blonde wig being Taylor Swift charging down the stage.
I would pay money to see that.
But like, I just loved it, so that's why I got involved. So that 100% stay open-minded. You're not too cool for anything at camp.
No, we did speed dating.
Yeah, you said about this.
Yeah, so one person stood up. Like, she was. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that. That's another story. So one person stood up and had like a list of questions, and we all sat in like 2 circles, so like one inside, like one outside, and then every question you'd move along one person, and we did it for about 3 hours, and then that way you get to talk to everyone. So some camps have loads of icebreakers, some camps not so many, because we have 2 weeks of orientation. So the first 2 weeks of orientation, yeah. So no wonder why I felt a bit homesick at the start. So the first week, you're be prepared to paint. And like when I first got there, I was shook when they gave me a paintbrush. I was like, what am I meant to do with that? And I'm like, I like painting, but just didn't expect it. And like, you might have to like like this year I shoveled out the golf course and neatened that all up, and like paint the bunks and things like that. So that's what you might have to do the first few weeks. I had no expectations of that whatsoever, so you do need to clean and tidy. And then the second week was our icebreakers, but by then we'd already done our own, because you can't spend a week with people without knowing them. So if nothing's going on, take it upon yourself to be like, okay, tonight we're having a rugby game up on the turf, or we're playing football, or we're all going to go, like we had a cinema, so we'd all put a movie on, have a movie night, and then speed dating and things like that. So I think just really try and get amongst it.
Definitely.
And get involved.
Don't
be
put too
shy.
much pressure on yourself either. There will be like the leaders we spoke about earlier, or even returners who, if they're good members of staff, they're going to introduce you, they're going to get you involved, and they're going to make you feel part of the community that camp is.
Yeah, as a returner, you want to make the first years feel comfortable.
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
Okay, second year blues.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
See, I don't know if I experienced that.
Really?
I had one dodgy week this summer where I was a bit like, oh, but I don't know why. I think I was just overtired. I don't remember ever like.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I just snapped out of it really quick. But have you had second year blues?
I can't remember.
You can't remember second year. You're Noel.
Mine was, in fairness, I think, so 2017 was amazing. So like, my first one was really good, and then I'd say the next two after that were not as great, because I think that first feeling you get is sort of just a feeling you can never have again when you go to camp for your first time.
Yeah. See,
But then after COVID, when I went back after not going for a year or two, oh my gosh, the 2022 and 2023 have been my best summers, 100%.
See, I don't know. Like my first year was good, and like obviously you have certain expectations, and the same people might not be going back. You might have a different group of friends that might kind of change your summer a little bit. But for me, my second year was so much better than my first year, which lots of people say that's not the case, but. I don't know if it's because I felt a lot more confident or a lot more comfortable. I knew what I was going into, knew the kids.
But that's good that you guys are seeing both sides. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you're always going to settle in
and
whether
I think
it's
you
straight
get,
away or not.
Like, what you put, like, you get out what you put in. So I went to camp this year with, like, the intention to make it my best summer because I knew it was going to be my last summer. Cry. Sorry, Pontiac.
Definitely. That saying's really good. And I think that's like when you arrive your first summer, you have obviously you've got the responsibility, but you have less responsibility than when you're a supervisor or you're in leadership. So definitely take advantage of that first summer when you can just have as much fun as possible.
But then also take advantage of the second summer when you
definitely
you know 100%. The rules, you know.
Yeah, you're it's
know
a different feeling, isn't it, a returner?
I can't tell you how like good it feels to be back at camp. Like I was so excited the first time I got to camp this summer, whereas the year before I was nervous, but this time I really got to like take it in and like it makes me smiley.
I know, I miss it so much. Like one thing I can think of is my first summer I would be really scared of the people that would do rounds at curfew. That would be like, for some weird reason, but now I am that person that does that, and it's like it's such a weird feeling to me, but
progression.
It's such a weird feeling, second year blues. I've never really had them, but I understand people who have had them, and honestly just keep pushing through it, because there are going to be good moments in that summer. There are going to be amazing moments in that summer. Like Phoebe said, she actually had a better summer on that second year.
And I don't know if it's I don't know why, I just did. But I was a lot more confident in myself this summer, so maybe that's why. And I wasn't like the first year, I think I was a bit more afraid of what everyone thought. So my advice to first timers would be not to worry about what anyone else thinks, because otherwise you're going to ruin it for yourself. You're not going to have that proper camp that I had this year.
Camp is a place where you can express yourself.
Absolutely.
And who you are, and there's no judgment at all really. Like everyone is there just to have fun. People dress. You should see my dress sense is really bad anyway. Let alone at camp, I have multiple colours going on, and I just don't care, because I know people at camp don't really judge you the same way. If I walk through the middle of London,
everyone's got like the same kind of morals, and everyone wants to be there for the same reason. So I don't know. I feel like everyone says, "Oh, camp drama," but it's just not in a way that anyone would put anyone else down.
No.
And like everyone just accepts people for being who they are.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I love about camp. Like, I mean, I didn't go out without any makeup on, but I could have.
Yeah.
And like no one cared what I wore. I did, but no one else did. No. So I don't know.
And we have that as well. Like we've had it so many years in summer when some girls have arrived and they wear lots of makeup for the first session, and throughout the summer they just sort of wear less and less and less. And that's completely up to you. Like if you want to wear makeup every day, that's completely up to you. But when you come to camp, sometimes you might feel like, oh, there's an expectation here, and then throughout the summer, you feel like, oh no, actually.
It really isn't though. You can like I walk around in my pajamas. I go to line up in my pajamas, and no one thinks anything of it. That's the norm. Like who doesn't want to do that every morning? Like just roll out of bed, go. Watch the flag go up in your pajamas.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually sick.
Living the dream.
I remember one time, this has got nothing to do with it, it just came to my head. So when I was chief, I opened the door because I heard loads of like screaming and shouting in my boys' unit, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And the kids are like running around the cabin chasing each other with sticks. And I'm like, where's their counsellors? And I sort of walk out, and further up the field, my 2 counsellors are topless, brushing their teeth, walking across the cabin, and I was like, okay, we're going to need to do some retraining.
See, I'd be running around with the stick.
After
Yeah.
So yeah, anything goes pretty much in camp in terms of what you wear. Obviously it has to be appropriate, but yeah, express yourself, be who you want to be, and people will accept you.
Yeah, and you'll always find your people at camp. There's always someone for someone.
Someone for someone.
I really can't talk today.
Quote. Is there any more questions?
That's all we've got for now.
But definitely, please.
We've got
give
a
us
few
some.
more. Yeah, someone asked about special needs camp, which we'll do a whole other podcast on with our special needs expert, Katie Thompson. She's been 9 times.
She's a veteran.
We've got someone asked for interesting travel stories, and I feel like that needs to be a whole podcast in itself, but we need to PG them.
Yeah, that's definitely a
That
whole
needs to be,
other
like,
episode. Yeah.
Researched and sift through the best ones and the appropriate ones. Vetted,
Yes, our editor George will have to do a lot of editing for that particular video.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so if you have any questions or anything that you want us to answer, talk about, tell our stories about, head over to our Instagram and we'll put up a little story saying, ask us what you want to hear, or you can DM us or email us.
But please come to our fairs. Like we
Please,
said,
we wanna
Glasgow
see you.
and Manchester on the 1st of February and London on the 3rd of February. It's a Saturday as well, so if you have work, you can still come on the weekend. Make a fun little weekend trip out of it if you live far away. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't want to come to London?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, lots of camps, well, I know my camp in particular, will then go out for go to a pub or go for drinks or something after the fair, and they'll bring all the new stuff with them. All the returners will come as well, so it's a great way to meet people and know what you're walking into before you get to camp. So I'd loved that before, but I went during COVID years, so on the tail end of COVID, so didn't have that. But yeah.
Awesome, but no,
Fair.
we'll be back for episode 5 next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
So give us some questions because we need something to talk about.
Please. But it has been a pleasure doing this podcast, and George is giving us some weird phone signal right now. What's he doing?
George looks like E.T.
He does right now.
E.T. phone.
I'm getting ready to end.
Can we have a
Ready?
selfie phone for George when
Yeah.
he turns around? Anyway, guys,
Angle.
see you next week.
See ya.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Make sure to hit subscribe and head over to our Spotify to hear some more of what we have to say.